Winning Cures Everything. Now for your hosts, Gary and Chris.
Welcome in Friday, November the 6th. I'm Gary.
And I'm Chris.
And this is Winning Cures Everything. Short show today, but it is a Friday. We appreciate everybody that is jumping in and letting us be a part of the beginning of your weekend. It should be a good one. We got some massive football matchups this weekend, and I could not be more excited about it. Chris, how's everything going in your end of the world?
Glad it's Friday.
Man, you know what? Let's be transparent for a minute. I actually texted Chris a little bit ago and said, man, do you just want to skip today?
Yeah. I said yes.
Yeah. I mean, now I do like to be, consistent with this show, right?
It's better. We need to keep doing it. We need to do it. We take it serious. We've been through the grind for a while. We can't quit grinding.
You got that right. So tomorrow, however, we will be amped up, fired up, ready to roll 11 a.m. Eastern time for the college football show over at sportsbookreview.com. So go and make sure that you are subscribed to their YouTube channel. You can search for it, SBR Picks. Very easy to do. Mr. Already said my two favorite people. There you go. That's what I'm talking about.
Appreciate that. See there? Now I'm glad we did it.
There you go.
There.
Terry said, what's up? What is up, Terry? Hope everything is well with you. So, yeah, it's been a very long week. Very low on sleep. So that is the way that it goes. But we're going to make it. It's going to be good. I'm going outside and watching a movie in my backyard this evening. As you can see, I have a new projector screen behind me if you're watching on the show, which, by the way, if you want to watch the show, if you're listening on the podcast, you're not going to be able to see this. But on the other side, if you would like to actually watch it, it's on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch. Every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, we knock this thing out. So come in and join us. You can be a part of the show. Marco Moore jumps in and said, love you guys' show. Well, we do appreciate that. We're glad that some of y'all actually dig this thing that we do. Terry said, hell yeah, I'm the cool dad because I know rock stars. Hey, Terry texted me last night. You know his son was listening to my band and didn't even know that, Terry knew me? Or he said it popped up on Amazon Music under, Killswitch Engage related or whatever. I said, one, we were never that cool. But yeah, no, that's a very interesting conversation we had last night. I ended up falling asleep right in the middle of us texting back and forth, but yeah, that's the way it goes. I said, yeah, that's me now. Falling asleep at 10 o'clock. That's me. So yeah, long evening, long everything. Go to winningcureseverything.com. We've been through all the rundown. We've been through all that kind of mess. Make sure you are subscribed everywhere you need to be subscribed. And if you're on the podcast, leave a nice 5-star review over on the Apple Podcast. We would certainly appreciate that. Again, the SBR YouTube page, Sportsbook Review, you can search it. SBR Picks will be there live on Saturday morning, 11 a.m. for the closing line show. And we will probably have some more best bets tomorrow morning, but we are going to go over the entire college football board, and we're going to answer some questions. So there you go. All right, let's dive into the matters at hand here. The first one that is up is the second second Pac-12 game has been canceled for the weekend. There were only 6 of them. So, I mean, you knocked out a third of them already due to, now, Cal was one COVID positive test.
A test.
One. Now, this one, Arizona and Utah, the report says that Utah did not have enough scholarship athletes to be able to compete due to contact tracing and whatever. Now, they did not release a number. I'm really struggling to see where the Pac-12 is going to be able to get through even half of their schedule at this point.
Their restrictions are too stringent.
Yes. Now, so we can talk about the Utah-Arizona thing because, obviously everybody's disappointed about that. Arizona AD said, I could not be more disappointed that our players, coaches, and staff will be unable to experience game day, which they have prepared months for. With that said, health and safety must continue to be our yes, everybody knows health and safety, health and stuff, all that kind of mess, right?
Yeah.
And not that I'm against that, obviously, but at what point are we going a little too?
This is all too crazy. It's too strict. At some point in time, Positive tests need to sit out. That's fine. Contact tracing needs to be tested quickly. They have the ability to get these tests back within hours. And if you get a bunch of negatives, then the people that had contact tracing are probably good, and we let them play.
So we talked about this on our podcast exclusive yesterday with Cal in Washington. And so the Cal issue, Justin Wilcox, the head coach, came out and said, hey, this wasn't us. Like, our school did not shut this game down. The city of Berkeley shut this thing down. Like, we didn't have an option here because of their regulations. And I get him coming out and say, I mean, he was pretty irritated about it seemed. If you're, like, first off, if you're Justin Wilcox and you get offered to coach anywhere else at this point, I mean, are you taking that?
Nope, you're on the first thing smoking out of the Pac-12. And I'm going to tell you, listen, it would not surprise me if he pulls the Dana and he went to an American team looking for a coach.
I wouldn't doubt that. I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Because every American team is in a great city almost. They're all in big cities. And yeah, I would absolutely say I would take an American job, almost any of them over staying where he's at.
McKinnon jumped in and said Berkeley did it. He's a big shocker there. Like,
yeah,
yeah. I mean that, I don't even know how to wrap my head around what is going on out there. Everybody assumed that they just came back because they didn't want to be left out. They wanted to be able to get the TV money, or at least a portion of it. But once the Big Ten decided they were coming back, immediately, I mean, the Pac-12 was right back in. So I don't think they're going to be able to continue this season if it's going to be this stringent. Like, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
No. Well, they're going to continue the season. They're just not going to get many games in. It's going to be a thing where they're only going to play 6 games a week because they've got 12 teams, Pac-12, and they're only playing each other. And what's going to happen is half of their teams won't play every week.
The teams that had any kind of playoff aspirations need to get in all 6 games.
But they're not.
But they're not going to. Like at Oregon and USC.
There's a zero chance. There's a zero chance that any team plays 7 games this year.
Yeah, I think you're probably right. I mean, it sucks. It sucks. Like I'm so irritated with it. But it is what it is. It's kind of funny because Berkeley did that last night, and yet the NFL had a game right across the bay from Berkeley last evening. And I mean, how many cases did the 49ers and the Packers have?
A ton.
It was several cases. Let's see. Simon Coolhand jumped in. Big hello, fellas. Loving the look of the card this weekend. Looking forward to a great program. Hey, we're going to be on SBR in the morning. Yeah, I think I feel pretty good. I got caught last night, but we'll talk about that here in just a minute. McKinnon said, I mean, does any Pac-12 team actually have a shot at the playoff? Okay, no. The USC schedule sets up very well for them to where the only good team, like really good team they would have to beat is Oregon. And we don't know that Oregon is all that good because of all the people that have opted out and all the people that left last year. So we don't know that Oregon is going to be great. We know they're the most talented team outside of USC in the Pac-12, but USC is they will be a sizable favorite over everybody on their schedule so far. Yeah. So more than likely, no. They would not be able to do anything but that USC brand. If they go 7-0, undefeated, win a Pac-12 championship, and you don't have any other good options out there, then yes, feasibly, they could have a shot this year. This would be the best shot for them, is to actually cut the schedule down and have them play less, risky opponents. Like, that's your best shot. So, because having a goose egg over in that loss column is what really seems to matter the most for this playoff bunch. So, yeah, they have a shot. Terry said, so we could have a 4-0 team in the playoffs. No, I don't believe that. I think you got to get to at least those 7 games. Like, you got to play all 7 of them, and I don't think they're going to. Nope. So, is what it is. We brought up the Packers and the 49ers. Let's go ahead and talk about what happened last night. Last year. Jesus Christ. We know what happened last year. Packers got revenge for last year is what they did last night. They destroyed the 49ers, 34-17. And, boy, if you had that under, I'm feeling for you. I am feeling for you. Whew. My goodness, Birdie jumps in. Hello, Gary and Chris. Hello, Birdie. What's going on? Yeah, that was, I think we overthought that game a little too much last night.
Yeah.
I mean, we both were thinking, it doesn't really matter who San Francisco puts out there. Like, maybe they just got their number and whatnot. Look, it is tough. The leading receiver for San Francisco was Richie James. Now, he had some numbers.
A guy that nobody's ever heard of before.
9 receptions, 184 yards, 1 touchdown. Wonder how many people started him in fantasy last night.
0. That would be the answer. 0. His mama does not start him in fantasy.
Yes, I mean, it's insane. Jerick McKinnon had 12 carries, 52 yards, 1 touchdown. He had 3 receptions for 16 yards. But overall, 55 yards rushing, 291 yards passing. Nick Mullins, wasn't terrible, I don't guess.
Mullins wasn't bad.
But Aaron Rodgers was on, he was on one. Like at 25 out of 31, 305 yards, 4 touchdowns. Aaron Jones played last night, 15 carries, 58 yards. Devontae Adams looked like one of the best wide receivers in the league. 10 receptions, 173 yards, 1 touchdown. Like it was a pounding. It was a beating. So, Birdie jumps in, settled on my NCAA football. His card: Michigan -3, Florida +3.5, East Carolina +5, and Cincy -14. He said, "Wish me luck, 3-1 the other night. You guys are creating a monster." Hey, I don't know that we had anything to do with that, but if you want to give us credit, we will gladly accept it.
That's right.
Terry said, now everybody's going to be trying to get him in fantasy because of one game. Well, I mean, if they don't have any receivers, why not? If you're having some issues with your fantasy team, yeah. Simon Coolhan said, Mullen has to be the man going forward in San Francisco. You think that?
Probably the rest of the year. Yeah, I think
Jimmy
G's
G's out. Yeah, so
I do not know going forward after this season. No, I don't know the answer to that.
No, I don't think that's the answer. Birdie said, if I win, no. If I lose, it is all your fault. Yeah, that seems a lot more in line.
I'm good at those relationships.
Yep, that seems a lot more in line with what we're used to. So never get any credit for giving out good picks. But as soon as things start going bad, yeah, then you start hearing about it. That is the way it goes. Turnovers killed me in that Wyoming game last night. I know that you tweeted at me this morning. You're trying to kill me, man. You say you don't ever bet against a bald Italian, right?
Never pick against a bald Italian, ever.
Oh, man.
Ever.
Wyoming -3.5 did not hit. They were down 14-0 quickly.
From the jump.
Yes.
From the jump. They never led in the game. They were never close to leading in the game.
It was so irritating. Like they had shots to get back in this thing and
pretty
even
good
to
butt
tie it up.
whipping.
But yeah, they got the rear ends whipped. They threw a pick six. They fumbled a football
that ain't Hawaii on the other side of that team.
No, it's not. I mean, it's just irritating. So irritating. So, but I got a bunch of them tomorrow. I got a bunch of plays tomorrow.
We're back. Hell, we got plays tonight.
Yeah,
you're not playing tonight.
I have got San Diego State tonight.
You're not going to play the BYU team total?
Man, I don't know.
I can't sell you on it. Okay,
I'm really thinking about it. It's
Air Force. Listen, Air Force dropped 30 on them. You don't think BYU was dropped 31?
I think Boise gave up 30 because they scored 49, and I don't know that Boise's going to give up 49. Like I think some of that was garbage time. So,
all right.
That's why I'm a little wary of it. But I do like BYU's. Like, has that team total changed at all? Have you looked?
I'm as we speak.
That's actually what I'm doing as well. I'm checking.
Well, you keep talking, and I'll get the Google machine working.
Yeah, the BYU team total is up to 34.
That's fine.
Holy mackerel!
That's fine.
I am taking the team total under on San Jose State. It's
I got
sitting
33 and a half. So
okay. Well, I'm seeing 20 for San Jose State's team total, and I'm going to take the under on that tonight. So, it is what it is. Birdie said, just tell my college football plays, boys, they are money. Hey, well, I might do that. We'll see. Birdie said, I like that Shanahan went for that touchdown at the end. Don't think we should write off the 49ers yet, but Mullins did not look good. If the 49ers get Mostert back and those wide receivers, they will win games. See, I thought Mullins looked fine. Like, I don't think he was great by any stretch of the imagination, but it was not the quarterback position that got them beat. Like
No.
they just got whipped up and down that field.
Correct.
It is what it is. I do like the idea. So tell me this: if you're getting your rear end whipped, so there were a lot of people, and mostly gamblers, that were upset that they went for that touchdown with 4 seconds to go. Why would any coach not go for that?
Well, you got to keep playing the game.
Yeah.
You're still running ball plays.
I mean, you have a lot of inexperienced guys that you need to get them acclimated to the system, right?
Yeah.
It didn't make any sense. Let's see. Simon Coolhand said Jimmy G's out 4 to 6. If he's good to go in 4 weeks, then let's see. He doesn't start to end the season. I don't know about all that. Let's see. No starter on offense from the NFC Championship. No. I mean, they are beat up as you can possibly get. So I don't know that they end up with a losing record per se, but I don't think they're making the playoffs this year. Like I could probably maybe they go 7-9, maybe 6-10 even. I mean,
Who is this?
The 49ers.
No, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
There's a world in which, if that's what I was going to say about the comment about he's out 4 to 6 weeks. A lot of, if you bring him back, is going to depend on where the team is sitting at that time.
Yeah.
And if the team is sitting badly, if they roll off a couple of L's in a row, that's a situation where let's just wait, move on to next year.
Yep. I agree with that. Like I said, it's going to be a short show today. We appreciate everybody that has jumped in and has let us be a part of your weekend, or at least the start to the weekend. Don't forget SBR Picks tomorrow, sbrpicks.com/NCAAF, and the SBR Picks YouTube page. We will be there live tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Eastern time, going over the entire college football board, and make sure that you just check out sportsbookreview.com. Like, go do your shopping on a bunch of these lines. Chris, I wanted to, before we get out of here, get your opinion on the Red Sox bringing back Alex Cora.
It's the right decision. They should have never fired him anyway. Just let him run his suspension, promote up the interim, and then let the interim run the job. And then you just take the tag off and, all right, now you're back.
Were you at all surprised that nobody else hired him?
No, he was being interviewed by several people. He was being talked about by several people. He just never went and met with them. I think he always knew he was going to come back to Boston. I think he wants to come back to Boston. He won a World Series there already. Yeah. He knows that team. He's been a part of the building of that team. I'm sure he doesn't love it as much without Mookie, but there's nothing you can do about that now. So
yeah, that's about done. But yeah, it was a little shocking. It was almost like a news dump. It's like it made no headlines. There's all this other stuff going on.
Yeah, but because it's baseball news in the middle of a football season. That's
in the middle of an election, right?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah. And you can't control that, but you still got to hire the damn guy. And when you hire him, you still got to make it news.
That is true.
So
that is true.
I don't think this is a late Friday afternoon decision because, we're trying to
hide it, right?
Sweep something under the rug or whatever.
Yeah.
No, I think that just happens to be when it happened. His suspension ended like 2 weeks ago. Okay. And at that point in time, he was contacted by the Red Sox. He did an over-the-phone interview. They flew down to Puerto Rico to meet him yesterday. They signed him today. Like once the deal is done, you got to report it. So just because it's late Friday, that's just when the deal got done.
Yeah.
It would be different if they did the deal on Monday and then they didn't report it until Friday. That's a news dump. When you're sitting on information all week and you wait until Friday at 5 to dump the info, that's a news dump.
Yep. And this was certainly not that. I mean, happened earlier.
There's nothing to dump. His suspension was for something that he did in another team. And the Red Sox went under their investigation, were found that they never did anything that the league could find, which I think all of these big market, high money teams are doing something to tip pitches, because if they weren't, why would you leave a team and go to a team that's not doing it and then not say something?
True.
And too many players have gone in between 15 of these organizations and nobody said anything. until one guy went to the Astros or to the A's from the Astros. And he was like, wait a minute, y'all don't tip pitches? Oh, no, they're doing it, and we need to stop that shit.
Yeah.
That's it.
Terry asked, what about the Mets' new owner cleaning house this morning?
Smart move. The Mets need it to be cleaned.
Yes. And it would not surprise me to see them clean that roster. So they do have some good players, but
you got a couple of pitchers, you got a couple of young guys, young sticks that you'd build around. But yeah, that is an overhaul. Now the problem is if you're a long way from being good, then you have to trade the arms now and get nothing but picks and minor league prospects in hopes that you can rebuild in 3-4 years.
Yeah, because obviously you need more than just pitchers because they've had nothing but pitchers for
They've had nothing but pitchers,
years.
but they can't hit.
Yeah.
And they can't. It's just not good.
Yeah, you are correct about that. Real quick, before we get out of here, Alabama running back Trey Sanders hospitalized after being involved in a car crash Friday morning. The school announced stable condition, non-life-threatening injuries. Same thing with Richard LeCount from Georgia last week. It seems like this is happening more frequently. I'm sure it's just coincidence.
Well, his was a motorcycle accident.
Yeah, his was motorcycle. This was a car crash. I'm hearing more car crashes, not just in sports, just overall. Lately, it almost makes you wonder, like, did people forget how to drive during this pandemic? Like, what is going on? And I think a lot more people are just distracted. Like, yeah. I really think that's what it is. So it is pretty crazy. So, the typical thoughts and prayers and all that good stuff with Trey Sanders and that bunch and Richard LeCount. Hopefully he gets back on the field soon for Georgia. I would like to see him there tomorrow because I think it would be a better game. But I don't believe he will be playing tomorrow.
He ain't making that.
I don't think so either. All right, you ready to get out of here?
Yeah, let's go.
Let's do this. I'm ready to take a nap. Good gracious. We got BYU Boise tonight, man.
Got BYU Boise in about 4 hours.
Ooh, boy. What a ball game. If you want to hear us talk about that, go over and download our podcast from yesterday. It was a podcast exclusive. It was not on YouTube or any of the other places where you typically get us. No video, just the podcast. So make sure that you are subscribed to the podcast, that you are subscribed here on YouTube and everywhere else. We would certainly appreciate that. Share the show out. Tell your friends about it. All that wonderful stuff. Leave a nice 5-star review and jump into the comments. All that good stuff. Terry said people didn't know how to drive before the pandemic. Yeah, you're probably right about that. There were just more of them. I didn't notice. So make sure sbrpicks.com/NCAAF tomorrow morning. The SBR Picks YouTube page. We'll be over there live 11 a.m. Eastern time going over college football Week 10 closing lines. And then on Monday, we will have our opening lines at the exact same place. So we are ready. We're diving into the home stretch. We're on the back half, the back nine, whatever you want to call it, and we are ready to rock and roll. I don't think there's anything else to hit, is there, Chris?
No, I was just scrolling through to see if there's any kind of news or any alert that I've gotten. Nothing.
Me either. All right, you guys take care of yourself. Take care of each other. We'll see you again tomorrow morning. Thanks for checking out Winning Cures Everything. If you want to keep up with us, hit subscribe on YouTube or your favorite podcast app. Visit the website at winningcureseverything.com, or you can like us on Facebook or follow us at Winning Cures, at Gary WCE, or at Chris B. Giannini on Twitter. Share out the show, leave a nice review, and make sure to comment and